All right, so we are toasting the vermicelli noodles by getting some olive oil in there and browning them. So as you can see, we are almost all brown and got some good toasty flavor. You definitely don't want to burn them. So we're gonna have to get the water and the rice coming in pretty quickly, and then um, after that comes the lentils, the spices, and the caramelized onions. And then we put a top on it and let all those cook together and meld the flavors. So, more to come. So, we soaked the rice so that it comes out very fluffy. So, we're just going to drain it a little bit, run it under cold water to get a little bit of the extra starch out. So, it's always good to wash and rinse your rice a couple times. It does come from the ground, so there's good to get some of your stuff off there. So this is actually an adaptation. I've made Mujadara a lot, which is, I believe, a Lebanese dish, if I'm not mistaken. It's rice, lentils, and onion as the main actors in the dish. But today, I'm actually making a blend between Mujadara and an Egyptian dish that incorporates noodles as well as chickpeas. Um, the Egyptian dish sometimes actually has tomato sauce. We're not going to do that. This is going to be very, very lentil onion based. But what we're trying to do here is a layer. So we already have in the toasted vermicelli noodles, which definitely gives a good smoky flavor. I think it's very important you saute them before you add everything else in. Then we're adding the rice second because you want to make sure it's at the bottom, cooks, gets some of the water. And then because the lentils are already pre-cooked because we parboiled them, those can go in last because they're already pretty much full the way cooked. The secret to this recipe is caramelizing onions. So this took about 2.5 hours this morning. So I'm going to put these in, put the caramelized in. It gives it some really good, rich flavor, ton of olive oil, some good healthy fats, which is going to be delicious. So that can go in. That will flavor all of the water in the entire dish. Then we'll put in this garbanzo bean chickpeas. Make sure they get covered because we want them to soften a little bit. They're always a little crunchy coming out of the can. Then we're going to put in some of the flavoring. So what we do is we take some of the lemon peel skins and put them in for some really, really good flavor. We're going to put bay leaves in, which are always really, really good. We're just going to eyeball some of the other spices. So we've got garlic, cumin, and turmeric. I'm going to throw in a little bit of paprika, but not much. The yellow turmeric and the red paprika are going to give some really, really nice color. I'd say there's probably about half a tablespoon of garlic powder. We definitely need a good amount of cumin in there, probably about a tablespoon. It's going to give it some good flavor. And then the turmeric, you want to be pretty light with it. Has pretty strong flavor, and a little goes a long way. Probably just trying to put in maybe like quarter teaspoon, and then same thing with paprika. We're almost adding it more for color, making it a little more red, a little bit more yellow, so it doesn't come out and look just very white and brown. A little bit more appealing on the eyes, and now we'll put in the lentils, and then we'll top it off with as much water as we need. You ideally want 1 finger's worth of liquid above, like up to your first crease in your finger to make sure we have enough water. So let me grab a cup and add that, and then we simmer it and let it roll. So we're starting to get this to bubble and boil. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to turn it on low and keep it on for, I think, 25 minutes minimum. And then we'll see where we're at in 25. You don't want to open and close it. Really important to get like the pressure in there. And then in the meantime, what we're going to be doing is frying some onions for the top. So you obviously have a ton of caramelized onions in the mix to really give it some good flavor. I think I used maybe like 6 or 7 onions. And now you want, for the textural component, to have some really crispy ones go over the top. And it's a really good combo. So chop some more onions, really thin. And you want to crisp them up. And we might do this in 2 batches just to make sure we don't overfill the pan, and then really hard to get everything consistent. So we'll leave these. Never skimp on the olive oil, since we're literally talking about onions, lentils, spices, and then a little bit of rice and pasta. This isn't super high calorie, so most of the calories are going to come from a little bit of the carbs and some of the olive oil, but you really want some healthy fats. Otherwise, you get hungry very, very quickly, and you eat more carbs and less fat, which actually is worse for maintaining healthy weight.
I'm a fan. The caramelized onions is an absolute necessity for this dish and really a great addition. I'm going to go 8-1. I was a big fan of the watermelon shrimp.
Very happily surprised. I think this is a really hearty dish. I would give it a 8.3.
Never tried this dish before, but I'm a big fan of caramelized onions. It's like one of my favorite things to put into a dish, so I'm excited to try this out. Really good. I'm going to go 8.5.
Really like it. Really hearty. I like the combination of flavors. I could probably eat this whole thing, so I'm going to give it 9-1.
Well, here. So this is a mix of 2 dishes. Mujadara, which I believe is Lebanese, and Koshari, which is Egyptian. So the Egyptian one has noodles in it and chickpeas. The one from Lebanon does not, so I kind of mixed them up. Got a little extra ingredients in. This is definitely one of my best batches. I'll give it an 8-8. Really good. And you eat it, you feel good. You don't feel too full, but you definitely feel satiated. So really happy with it, and I'd like you to try it. It sounds good to you.